In this video, I am gonna show you how to turn this coloring page into finished artwork like this. For the canvas, I am using one of Lisa Glanz canvas that comes with the aquarelle brush set. I just cropped it square. And I will be using one of my coloring pages, Italy Door, and it comes with two versions. I will be using the one without the frame ink outline, but you can use the other one too. I will put all the links for things I am using in this video in the description box below. And I also made a color palette for you, but use any other colors you want. This one works the best with the Lisa Glanz canvas. And here you can see the brushes I will be using. I will rename the outline layer so I don't mix anything up. And then I will make new layers underneath the outline layer. I will make a new layer for each color so it is easier to render them later. For most of the coloring, I will use the round brush from the set, and let's start with the greenery. So for that I am using the green color and I just color everything. I also add some dots outside of the lines for the artwork to feel more hand-drawn and lively. When I color one section, I don't lift the pencil because then it will make an overlap and I don't want that. So I try to color everything in one go where I can. Also, I chose the colors to be more vintage looking. If you don't like that, then pick a different green because this one is more brownish than green. Once all the greenery is colored, let's make a new layer and move to the next color, which is the darker brown from the palette. And in this color, I will color in all the wooden bits, like tree trunks, the sign frame, and of course the door. For now, we are just making the flat color layers and we are gonna make them look gorgeous later. So, next the flower pots. I will color some of the flower pots with red and some with lighter brown. But if you like just color them all red or a lighter brown, it will be your drawing. So, do what works best for you. With the lighter brown, I also color in this step at the door. Now, the last color from the palette will go at the bottom of the door and in the windows. This will give a feel like there is a lot behind the doors, and as it is sunny outside, it means all the lights are off in the inside, so it is dark. But if you want, then pick a light gray or blue for the windows. And with the dark color, I will also color in the table and those few objects around the door, the doorbell and the flower hangers. Now I am using the first color from the palette. I will color in the sign and few details around the drawing. For the signs in the window, I will choose few colors from the palette, like pink, green and light yellow. Let's move to the flowers. I want this layer to be on top of the green layer, and I will choose pink and red color and color in the flowers. And in the bushy greens, I will just add random dots which will give the illusion that there are flowers. Now you will see that this doesn't look very bright on top of the green bushy things, but what we are gonna do when we are done with drawing flowers, we are gonna select the flower layer and then click on the green layer and click clear and do this few times. This will erase all the pixels from where the flowers are on the green layer. A little trick with erasing. And now move on to the awning. I will choose the pink color and color one stripe pink, one stripe blank, one stripe pink, one stripe leave blank. When I am done with the pink color, then on a new layer I will choose the second color from the palette, but make it a bit lighter than the color and then I will color in little part of the stripe and then smudge it out. I don't want it to be like super in your eyes fully colored stripe, and this will give the illusion of that. So color in a little bit and then smudge it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I will go over all the layers and make them pretty and 3D looking. So first, I suggest you think of where your light source will be. Mine will be on the right side, so the left sides of the objects will be darker. And what I do is make a new layer on top of the color layer I want to work with. So now I am darkening the brown things. So I have a new multiply layer on top of that. And why multiply? Because it will darken the color. So I just draw with the round brush where I want the object to be darker, and then I smudge it out because I don't want any prominent dark edges to be seen. First I use the same color, but then I also make that same brown color a bit darker. Once I have finished with the smudging, then I go to pencil brush, and with that I add little tiny scribbles which will give even more hand-drawn look to the drawing. When I am happy with the darker color layer, I merge the layers together. And then I also want to add some highlight, so I will use the second color from the palette because it is tiny bit yellow like the sunshine, and I will lighter some parts. For now, I will keep the layer on normal and I play with opacity to get the look I want. Later we will be adding the real sunshine layer, and this I will do with all the color layers. So multiply layer on top for darkening and normal layer for the lighter parts. If you want to use stamps for making interesting watercolor feel, then the multiply layer make as clipping mask, so it stamps only on the object you want to darken. I will now stop talking. You already know the technique I will use, so just follow along, and then when things will get more interesting, I will come and talk you through it. For the awning, first I merge both stripe colors together, and then with smudge brush but on bigger size, I will smudge a bit of both colors together, and then make a multiply layer to make it more dimensional as before. Now I will merge all the layers together and color in the rocks with the darker first color. I am merging everything together because it will be easier to erase the background. If you think you will want to change something later, then go outside this drawing and in the gallery and duplicate it. And merge everything together in one of them and keep one as backup if you will want to make changes later. For the background, you will see those little gray corners. They will help you guide where the background should be. And with selection tool, choose rectangle, just select the area in those corners. Oh, and it's a new layer underneath all the layers. And drop any color in and then make it white. And then make a new layer on top as clipping mask, and with the first color choose a stamp and make the ground. And then with the second color on a new layer, stamp the wall. I make them on new layers, so it is easier to move the stamp around. When you are happy with the stamp placements, you can merge them together and erase the little corners from the outline layer. We won't need them anymore. And now I will do the same thing as we did with the flowers and the green bushes. I will select our whole colored drawing layer and click clear on the background layer and do this a few times. This will work as the same erasing trick as before. But if you like how the background color is shining through your colored layers, then you can keep them as they are. And of course we need some splatters. So for each stamp I am making a new layer just because it is easier to move it around. And I will add some splatters from the greenery and then also all around the drawing. After all that is done, we need to add some sunshine and shadows. Now, for the sunshine, I am making a new layer and change it to add blend mode. And with the second color and the pencil brush, I go over everything and make the right side of the object truly shine. For the shadows, I am also making a new layer and change to multiply. I want this to be under the add layer, the sunshine layer. And for the shadows, I want some grayish color, but you can change it later to whatever color you want. And I am gonna use the hard round brush from the Airbrush Procreate set. So, if the sun is on the right, the objects will cast a shadow to the left. I am not doing everything right here, but basically I am following this rule, and one shadows on the wall and on the ground, like on the left side from the objects. If you want more detailed shadow tutorial, I will put a link to video I made where I talk more about how I draw shadows. And when all the shadows are done, you can play around the opacity, the color of the shadow, till you get the look you want. And I also like to add a bit of Gaussian blur and noise. And the last thing I always add is an overlay texture. It just makes the drawing come together so much more. And then, that's it. We are finished with the drawing. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.